Sometimes the person we think we know the most ends up being a complete and total stranger. Today on our channel, a cheater looks to get away with her devilish ways by any means necessary. Wife insisted that I sleep with her friend, later found her sleeping with that friend's husband. I, male 35, married Ellie, female 34, 5 years back. We're working individuals and just an average couple. We worked hard on the weekdays, we got smashed on weekends. That has been her life. However, it has steadily changed in the last 3 months. One Sunday, we were just relaxing by ourselves when suddenly, my wife started showing pictures of her friends and asked me to rate them. I looked at her in surprise. She asked me to take it as a sport, it would be fun. I took it as casual fun. So we both indulged in this creepy stuff of rating her friends. I gave her the disclaimer that it was just for fun, and I didn't mean anything. She patted me in assurance. In that game, I ended up giving the highest score to her friend Lily, female 33. My wife and Lily were gym partners before becoming friends. Later, Lily's husband Joshua, male 36, and I met, and all four of us vibed along well. We usually hang out together. A couple of days later, out of the blue, my wife asked me if I would sleep with Lily if given a chance. I was taken aback. I reminded her of the disclaimer I gave before playing the game. I know how women are, experts in building a castle out of thin air. She calmed me down, stating that she wasn't digging on me. She said that if I find her hot, I should get to explore with her. I was stunned. I clarified that I didn't find Lily hot. It's just that she was better looking than most of the other friends of Ellie. I know it's shallow, but it was just a game. She insisted for the next few days that I should at least have one wild encounter with Lily. She reasoned that I would eventually hook up with her if I had any of my nudist feelings for her. She thought it was better to satisfy my desire openly than cheat on her back. I told her I never intended to sleep with Lily. I'd never seen Lily in that light. However, she didn't seem to buy it at all. A few days later, one of the weekends, we were having a house party at Lily's and Joshua's place. It was just 4 of us, I and my wife, Joshua, and Lily. We were bored with the games and decided to have a movie night. I don't know whose plan it was to watch 2+2, but we ended up watching that crap. For people who haven't watched this movie, it's about couples swapping to spice up the relationship. As the after effect of the film and the alcohol, all 4 of us looked at each other to see if there could be a possibility of the same between us. But thank God, nothing happened. We all burst out in hysterical laughter. I almost forgot that incident as soon as Monday kicked in. However, the same wasn't true for my wife. A few days in the week, while having a casual dinner table conversation, she brought up our experience that night. She hinted that it would have been great to try a couple swaps. I smirked and laughed at it, thinking it all to be a joke. My laughter turned into a shock when she said that she was serious. I asked if she already had someone in mind to explore this idea of a couple swap. She said, well, we can explore with Joshua and Lily. I looked severely at her suggestion and said she couldn't be serious about that. I declined it, saying it would ruin 2 families, ours and theirs. She nodded and said that she wasn't that serious either, but that movie had put an idea into her head and that she would get over it in a while. I acknowledged it and moved on from that discussion. However, as time passed, she insisted we spice up our married life. It is understandable that, after being together with the same person for 7 years, sexual life has become routine. But that's the game of marriage. You trade off thrill for more meaningful feelings like stability, love, and care. I asked her up front if she wanted to have an open relationship. She outright denied it, suggesting all this just to strengthen our bond and nothing else. I assured her I loved her and didn't want to be with anyone else but her. Days passed, but Ellie was stuck to her point. She didn't miss any single opportunity to give me a subtle hint that I should sleep with Lily. One evening, Ellie came excited from the gym. She told me that she had spoken to Lily about my desire. She was surprised to know that Lily and Joshua were also thinking about exploring their sexual life. High flustered, I asked her what made her discuss this topic with Lily. She said it was normal for women to discuss bed with their friends. I don't know, guys, maybe I'm just old school. I never discussed mine with any of my guy friends. I had done it in the past, maybe in some casual relationship, but never in detail, especially about my wife. She added that she'd told Lily about how I thought her to be hot, and guess what? Lily blushed. She said this with a sheer sense of achievement. I shrugged and said it was normal for anyone to blush to know that someone finds them hot. But she said that maybe Lily also desired to hook up with me. To be honest, the way she pestered, I sensed that something was fishy. So I sleuthed her phone. I checked her chats and social media account, but it was all clean, except for spam messages from some random guy. I felt guilty for suspecting her. La has a very cheerful and bubbly personality, who likes to speak her heart without filter, and I loved her for that. I was actually being awful to her since the time she started nagging me to sleep with Lily. Upon finding her phone to be clean, I hated myself for being mean to her. I thought she loved me to the extent that she was okay to let me sleep with someone. I felt blessed. Over the next month, we regularly met Joshua and Lily over drinks for dinner, sometimes in our houses and outside. It was just as usual. However, what was unusual, I actually felt infatuated with Lily, and there were several reasons for that. Whenever we met, Lo would subtly tease me, and sometimes Joshua too, joining in teasing me, while Lily blessed all this while with intense eye contact. I mean, who wouldn't get a butterfly in this situation? But every time this conversation came up, I made it clear that I didn't intend to put my finger on Lily, literally. The reason why I'm writing this is because I'm in a fix now. Next week, we have a long weekend because the bank holiday falls on a Friday. My wife and Lily had planned that we all get a mini vacation at a beach resort. We've done this kind of main trip with Joshua and Lily, but it is different this time. My wife Ellie insists I sleep with Lily on this vacation. I adamantly declined it, but she says she can always retreat if things are uncomfortable. I asked Ellie what if she gets hurt and possessive about it. She said that we can't know our true selves until we try. I don't know what to do. I would be lying if I said I'm not thrilled, but I'm equally nervous. This would ruin my marriage, but my wife thinks it will help us bond. She says that it is way more common than I think. I know that couples try out different means to spice up their life, but no one talks about it openly. So I don't know how it works. Looking for suggestions from people who have explored this and how the experience was. Should we really involve a third human being to spice up our life? Let's see what the community thinks when asked for advice. Soul tip 43. Dude, run away. She's cheating on you already. She's trapping you to come out clean. Max out 00. I second you, dude. She's already banging someone, bro. Take my advice and have fun with Lily. Your marriage is already over. Better to fulfill your lust. Wonder whoa. In my opinion, if your wife has come out clean, you can give it a shot and see if you like it. She's kind of right. We try different means to spice up our sex life. Of course, if both partners consent, I see you're thrilled to experience this. Why not try it? Foreign. Oh yeah, the comments are right. She's already cheating on you and is looking for you to do it too as an excuse to continue cheating on you. If you do it, that means she can do it, right? Wrong. It's so she feels less guilty about what she's doing. She's trying to drag you into her own nastiness. Yeah, an open relationship is fine if you both agree to it, but not so the other person gets away with cheating. Update 1. Hey people, you know what? You guys were right. She was indeed cheating on me already. After getting some sound advice from a few of you, I decided to play along and see where it leads. Of course, I didn't want to sleep with Lily, but I pretended in front of Ellie that I was okay to try this. I wanted to see what would unfold once I consented to her. She was delighted that I had finally agreed on the supposed weekend. All four of us drove to the resort, which was 60 miles away. On the way, while Ellie and Joshua were enjoying the scenic beauty, I noticed Lily was lost and nervous for most of the journey. I was also not feeling great, but I was somehow faking it. I had no evidence of foul play, just my gut feeling. I couldn't pass the verdict just with my instincts. It was Friday, and we reached there somewhere in the afternoon. The plan was to sunbathe until the evening, attend a party arranged by the resort, and later explore our darkest fantasy. In short, it was all arranged for me and Lily to hook up. After freshening up, we relished a decadent lunch and spent the rest of the afternoon slumbering under the sun. I tried speaking to Lily privately, but she didn't acknowledge that she was uncomfortable. She smirked, saying she was looking forward to the night. The party was wild, but I tried to stay in control, to be alert for the next action plan. Sensing my anxiety and alertness, Joshua comforted me, saying it was all fine, and Lily wanted to have fun with me. She was attracted to my physique. Now that I know the truth, I feel disgusted at his move. I didn't know what time it was when we left the party, and I found myself in a room with Lily. We both sat awkwardly for a moment. I don't know how long. She broke the ice and asked how we should start. I asked if we really needed to. She stared at me with a confused look. I asked her if she really wanted to sleep with me. She admitted that she had a slight crush on me, but never wanted to sleep with me until her husband Joshua planted this idea in her head. I said something was wrong, so I asked her if she wanted to sleep with me. I was dumbfounded to hear that she was manipulated in a similar way as I was. I started with Ellie, telling her about the game in which I rated Lily the highest. Ellie also told Lily we were seeking ways to spice up our married life. The same day, Joshua came home and said he felt blessed to have such a desirable wife that even I wanted to make it hot with her. Lily thought I told Joshua all about this, but it wasn't me. It was, of course, Ellie who had told him. Or it was just their plan. Since then, Joshua has been planting the idea in Lily's mind. He asked her if she would like to make out with me. She denied it multiple times, but he said that it would spice up and strengthen their relationship. She admitted that she liked my physique, but not to the extent that she would sleep with me. I cleared the air that I never wanted to sleep with her. I narrated my side of the story, and she was shocked because all she knew until then was that I wanted her. By then we knew that it was them. Lily asked Joshua whether he and Ellie would do something similar, to which he denied. He said he wanted Lily to experience it first, and if everything goes well, they'll think about it. I remember not conversing with Ellie because I didn't want to enter this game. I told her I suspected Ellie of cheating when she pestered me for the hookup and checked her phone, but it came out clean. We decided that it was the best time to uncover the truth. I wanted to bang open the room and confront them immediately, but Lily insisted on catching them red-handed. She was adamant about ruining them. So on the night we were supposed to be hooking up, we devised a plan to destroy Ellie and Joshua. They both were supposed to be outside, waiting for us. We knew they won't indulge in anything at that point, because we could quit at the last moment and walk out of the room. They couldn't take the risk. So when we both went out, we saw them watching something on the iPad. They were sitting cozy but not intimate. We said we had changed our minds and didn't want to hook up. Both turned pale. They asked us what was the reason for backing out. I said we didn't feel quite right. It wasn't supposed to be forced. They ran short of words to express their disappointment. I told them my client requested a sudden meeting the next day, so we would have to leave early. I asked Ellie to continue the vacation with Lily and Joshua, but none of them wanted to stay further. We drove back home the next morning. All four of us were silent for most of the time during the return journey. After returning home, I changed and left the house. I drove to a coffee shop away from the house. After an hour of leaving the house, I got a call from Lily that Joshua had also left the house, citing some urgent work. We both knew what his urgent work entailed. Lily said she had asked her other friend to follow Joshua and would update me about their location. Rightly so, they were found at my house. While leaving the house, I told her I'd come home late in the evening, and they couldn't miss the opportunity. I hardly drove back to pick up Lily, raging angrily to catch the duo red-handed. I used my key to unlock the apartment, and there they were lying naked. Lily was swift to capture their photos while they struggled to wrap themselves up. I raced into the room, threw Ellie's belongings outside the apartment, and asked her to leave the house immediately. They both pleaded with us to listen to them. Joshua kept saying they were trying to experiment, like we did last night. I pulled him by his collar and asked since when he was involved with my wife. Ellie tried to free him, but I pushed her away. He said that it was the first time they had explored. I choked him harder, grinding my teeth, asking for a confession. I stared Ellie with a red eye and said I didn't mind rotting in jail by killing this parasite. I made it clear that either of them confessed the truth or I strangled Joshua. Ellie agreed while howling and begging me to stop. They confessed that they had an affair for over a year. They were seen hand in hand by two of my friends and one of Lily's. Fortunately for them, none informed us of anything. However, Joshua and Ellie were scared of being exposed someday, so they plotted to involve us eventually in the game of couple swap and legalize their adultery. I asked her how come her phone was clean when I checked it. She sobbed and admitted that they used to communicate only through emails, which she used to sign in only when required. They didn't chat often and used email to communicate regarding the time and location of their meetup. It was just a cold physical relationship between Ellie and Joshua. Lily left the house after hearing everything. Joshua followed her. I asked Ellie to leave the house immediately. She tried to hug me, sobbing and pleading with me. I made it clear that reconciliation is not on the table. She tried to fool me, but I couldn't let her run over me. She left the house only when I threatened to involve her parents. I messaged Lily to send me the picture she had taken of them. I forwarded those to Ellie's sister and told her everything. She confirmed that Ellie didn't go to her parents' house. After a week, I'd emailed her divorce papers. Since I don't know her location, the lawyers sent the physical copy to her parents' house. They called me in panic. I looped in Ellie's sister on the call and asked her to narrate everything. After receiving the email, Ellie spammed my phone with her pleadings. She used to send me messages earlier asking for reconciliation, but the frequency increased after the email. Lily, on the other hand, involved her parents in the matter. Lily's father was a businessman, and Joshua handled one of his business units. So when the truth came out, Joshua was kicked out of work, and Lily's father used all his connections to block every possible job for Joshua in his field. It's been a month since the D-Day. My divorce proceedings are on. Ellie is contesting it, asking for a share of my house. I'm distraught at the cheating and the way the duo tried to involve us in the dirty game. I'll update if anything develops. Else, consider this the final one. Comments. XY, kudos for coming out strong. Sugar for manipulating you and Lily into the crap pit. Felt satisfied to see Joshua screwed by the father-in-law. Exile09. Impressive to see APS managing their phones so well. So next time you search for evidence, look for emails. There it is, everything. Oh yeah, there you go. They both wanted to feel better about what they were doing by having both of you in on it too. It's unfortunate to think that they thought they could manipulate both of you into their twisted little game. Poor Lily. Update 2. I didn't think of updating it, but I have some news. I know some of you would expect me and Lily to get together. No, that didn't happen. Like mentioned earlier, neither I nor Lily wanted to hook up. We both were just fools to be manipulated into it. Gladly, we escaped last minute. My divorce got settled, and Lily didn't get a penny. My lawyer argued that if she claimed a property share, we would also revise the divorce terms and claim alimony for my mental distraught. I tell you, if you pay your lawyers well enough, they can bargain for good returns. She gave up and signed the papers. I don't remember if I mentioned that Joshua was working at his father-in-law's company, and with this news, he was kicked out. He wasn't able to secure any decent-paying job in his field after leaving my house. Ellie rented a dingy apartment where she offered Joshua to stay with her. However, he declined, stating that his father-in-law would destroy him further. Besides, he never loved her. Ellie was living under a bubble that Joshua loved her, but he didn't. Joshua clarified that it was all for fun, without strings attached, as per their initial agreement. These revelations came out during Lola's divorce, where Joshua confessed that he was manipulated by Ellie. He never loved her. He loved Lily. He begged Lily and her father for the last chance, but they rebuked him and forced him into a divorce. It didn't hurt me to see my ex-wife getting exposed and humiliated in a courtroom. I felt justice was served hot, as she deserved. She was abandoned by everyone she knew, her husband, her lover, her friend, and her family. Her parents and siblings despise her. I don't know about her work status. This kind of news spreads like wildfire. I wanted to send those pictures to some of her colleagues as well, but I held back. I don't know about her present status, but I know she can't afford her previous lifestyle with her income. She jeopardized our stable relationship for a cheap thrill, and now got what she deserved. I have enrolled in counseling. I was getting disturbing thoughts about the night Ellie had planned for my hookup. The therapy is helping me move on, but I think it will take some more time to mentally whack her out. My friends insist I meet other women, but I don't think I'm ready to date. Any advice or tips are highly appreciated. Thanks much. The manipulator becomes manipulated. Honestly, they got caught up in the desire, and it killed them. If they were having thoughts of being together just for fun, there are ways of communicating that to your partner to actually start a consensual open relationship. But both parties have to be on the same page. It's unfortunate that she did what she did, and she turned out to be someone you didn't know. I'm sorry, OP, but I'm glad you and Lily both stuck with your gut and didn't move forward with something that made you both extremely uncomfortable. The situation could have ended up so much worse. What would you have done if your partner asked you to rate their friends? Would you question it right away? Let us know what you'd pick out as red flags in the comments below. Thank you for listening our story. Be sure to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on our next video.